Ho, 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 ho!
Hello everyone and very welcome to another video about Intune application packaging. So in this video we are going to specifically talk about detection keys and how to create them in Windows Registry when we are packaging and deploying our application. So this scenario or this case is specifically useful when you have an application that doesn't create an MSI GUID or an MSI string that you can have as your detection key, or you have other specific needs to create your own detection key in Windows Registry. So we are going to systematically use the PSADT script toolkit to create our own custom key and then use it as our detection method in Intune. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So in our previous videos, we did package Sublime Text and VLC Media Player as demos. Today we will be packaging another software that is called Audacity. It's an audio recording and editing program. So to make life easier for us, we can go ahead and duplicate the already packaged and modified VLC Media Player and rename it to our program that we will be packaging today. So once you have done that, we can open the folder and remove the files that is not relevant to this software that we will be packaging. So I have already downloaded the setup file for Audacity. I'm going to paste it inside the files folder here and rename it to setup.exe. Once we have done that, we can go ahead and even rename this file to Audacity. Open our Visual Studio Code as admin. After we have opened Visual Studio Code, we can open our program folder that we just duplicated from VLC Media Player. Inside that folder, we can go ahead and fire up our app deploy toolkit main.ps1 to get our function and variables. Once we run that, we can open install audacity.ps1. Now this script is copied from VLC Media Player, so most of the things are already in place. What we need to do is we need to come here to this section of the code where it says variable declaration and change the application name. We can scroll down until we come to the part where it says installation. In here, we have already a line of code where it says execute process, the path is setup.exe, and the parameters is S for silent. Now, I know the silent parameter for Audacity, and that is very silent. So it is going to install the application in silent mode. Now we can test just this part of the code just to see that our application, our installation is starting. So if I just run this part of the code, you can see that the installation starts now. And then we can just paste back the parameter very silent. So it's going to install this silently. Now that's all for the installation part, and we can see that it is working. Once the installation is successful, we can go ahead and find this part of the script where it says post installation. So after the installation is finished, what do we want to do? So we want to create a key inside Windows Registry and set it as our detection method. So this toolkit has already a function that is called set registry key, and you want to define the path to this key. So if we open our registry editor here, we can navigate to the H key local machine, and under software, we want to create a key here in this directory. So if I take that path and we want to create a key here that is called Audacity. Now we want to name this key as installed and set the value to 1. So if it's installed, the value is going to be 1. If it's uninstalled, the value is going to be 0. So, and then the type, we are going to go with the type dword here. Now, once we are done with that, we can go ahead and test this and see if it creates our registry key, just to confirm that it's working. So if I just run this part of the code, you can see here in the console it says setting registry key. Here is our key created with the name installed and the value 1. We can confirm this by opening Windows Registry, refresh it once if you can't see the key, and here it appears. Okay, wonderful. Now that the creation of the registry key is working, we can go ahead and delete this because we will be testing this as a part of the installation script. So now let's find out how we can uninstall this program, and when uninstalled, how we can set this key to the value of 0. So in the uninstallation part of the script, we can see here, this is what we used for VLC Media Player. We can use the same function, of course, execute a process, and the path to that process is going to be here. And the parameters, we are going to use the same ones as we used for our installation part. And then we are going to have a pass through here to store the value of this variable that we will be creating for this function. So we are going to create a variable here and call it uninstall Audacity. So this pass-through is going to store the exit code for this variable. We can remove this part because that is for VLC Media Player that we did before. Let's create an if statement and say if the uninstall Audacity is successful, if this variable or this exit code is 0, then we can set this registry key to the value of 0. So just change this value to 0 here. So what this means is it is going to execute this exe file in silence mode and then store the exit code for this variable. And if the exit code is successful, which is 0, and then it's going to go ahead and set that registry key to the value of 0. We can actually go ahead and test our script here. So let's go ahead and install this. We can see that it installs our application and set our registry key to 1. We can confirm this by opening registry, refresh it once. You can see that this key is created with the value 1. Now we can even test to uninstall it and see that that part of the code is that part of the script is working too. So we can call our install audacity.ps1 with the deployment type uninstall. Run that and see that the key is set to 0 and the exit code is 0. So if we come into our registry and refresh it one more time, you can see that the value of the installed key is 0 now. Wonderful. Now I'm going to package this application into intunewin file and upload it to Intune, create our application. And I'm going to show you how to set this key as a detection method in Intune. So, okay, now once you have wrapped your application into an intunewin file and started creating your application and filled all these parameters for the application, we can go ahead and jump ahead into the program tab here. Here comes the fun part. Now, when you start installing application via company portal or via Intune, the PowerShell session, if you have a PowerShell script, of course, the PowerShell session is always going to be started in a 32-bit version of the PowerShell. Now, what we did in our script, we created our registry key under local machine and software. Now, this part of the registry is the 64-bit version of the registry. And when Intune starts this PowerShell script, the session is in 32-bit version. So the key is not going to be created in this case. What we are going to do in the install command here is we are going to use the 64-bit version of the PowerShell. So let me show you what command we are going to use for that. We are going to use this command. So we are going to go to system root, that is your Windows directory, and then we are going to go into syswow64. This used to be in sysnative path, but I checked and now it is in syswow64. And then Windows PowerShell version 1.0. And then here is our 64-bit version of the PowerShell that we are going to call. And then the rest of it is as usual. We are going to set our execution policy to bypass. And then the file we will be calling in this case is install audacity.ps1. We can go ahead and copy this part and paste it for our uninstall command. And the deployment type, or when we want to uninstall this application, we want to call our deployment type function and uninstall it, just like that. I usually change the device behavior into no specific action, and we can leave the rest of it as it is. Once we have done that, you can click on here, review and save, and then let's go jump ahead into the detection rule. Now, here is another fun part for you. So in the rules format, let's go ahead and choose manually configure detection rule and click on add. Let's have our registry key here. So we are creating our registry key here. This is the path for our key, for our detection key, Audacity. The value name we created is installed. The detection method is integer comparison because we set it to 0 or 1. When it equals to 1, then go ahead and detect this application. Now, here's the tricky part. If you give this, or if you write this as your detection path, this is not going to be correct. So application is going to be installed probably, but it's not going to be detected by Intune. Because when we run the way we did in our install command here, it's going to create our key under wow6432 node, because the session or the PowerShell session is still in 32-bit session, but we are calling the 64-bit version of the PowerShell. I hope this makes sense to you. So let's go and copy the registry path where our key will be created. Take that, copy the path, and then paste it here. And then, of course, we are going to create a new registry key that's called Audacity. And now your application is going to be detected because this path is the correct one when the application is getting installed. In our test machine, let's go ahead and open company portal. You can see that I have already cheated and tested this. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the application. while it's reinstalling the application, we can check in the registry that there is no key here whatsoever that's called Audacity, and there is no key here under this path that's called Audacity. So let's wait for the installation to be finished and check this again. Oh, there you go. And we can see that now the installation was successful. If we go ahead and check our registry key, we can see that there is no Audacity here under a local machine software. But if we check this path, you can see that it is here installed and it has the value 1. Now we can go and even test the uninstallation process and see that it is doing its job. Click on that, uninstall, and voila, even that uninstallation was successful. We can confirm that by even checking in Windows Registry key that the installed value is set to 0. Wonderful. Thank you very much for watching the video. As usual, please leave your comments below and thoughts below and let me know what you want to see next in my application packaging videos, or any specific application that you are having trouble with installing or deploying to your clients via Intune. So thank you very much and have a nice one. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.